From about the time I was 12 years old to 24 years old, I was heavily involved in drugs. Um, did a lot of drugs, sold a lot of drugs, went to different countries, imported drugs, stuff like that. As I was growing up, I had a really foul mouth, and nobody could figure out what I was like. I was doing drugs, I was doing various things, but I knew inside of me that there was more to life than just go out, do drugs, party, and stuff like that.
Mhm.
There's a time when I was about 24 years old, I got caught drinking and driving, and my sister, who is younger than me, tried to jump out of the van because I was just driving really bad, and I just realized that I messed my life up, right? And so I just knew I had to change, right? And I made that vow to God. God, if you get me off of this, I'll change my life.
Yeah.
Right? We know how that works for most people.
I don't know how that works for most people. This is the first time someone's ever brought that. I ask this question every time. I've had the same interview with like 20 people, and
Yeah.
you're the first person that said, I made a deal with God. I can't wait to hear how this goes.
Yeah. Well, he did his part. I had an aunt that was a drug dealer as well. And she had a friend who was a heroin addict. And she ended up turning her life over to God through the Foursquare Gospel Church. And she asked my aunt and I if we wanted to go to church that Sunday morning. And usually on Sundays, I was with a group of people that would go down to White Rock Beach in Vancouver, and we would just party. And it would cause all kinds of problems. And I said, is it okay if we go to church and then go party right after? And she says, sure. So I end up saying, okay, I'll go to church that Sunday morning. Well, she never showed up, right? Nope. But I went to the church anyway. And I walked
awesome.
I walked into the church, and I never heard God's voice. I never knew really much about God. And as soon as I walked into the back foyer, I heard God say, this is your home.
Yeah.
I sat at the back. In the Foursquare Church, they raised their hands.
That's right. Speak in tongues, too.
They do all of that stuff, right?
I'm Foursquare,
I know.
Yeah.
And, hang off the chandeliers. So I go.
I never saw any chandelier hangers, but okay.
No. So I'm in the back, and this is all really strange to me. They're singing, they're worshiping, and I don't remember a single word that was said from the message. All I remember is I saw everybody lifting their hands, and I went like this 2 or 3 times, right? And that's all I remember, other than these 2 girls came, invited me to a coffee house on Monday. And I said, okay, I'll go. It was like 2 days before that I got caught with my impaired. I was drinking, doing stuff. The Saturday night before, I said, I can't go to church hungover, so I didn't drink that day. And I've never drank since.
Wow.
No withdrawals, no nothing. God just came into my life. It was just like miraculous. There's no way. I just said, God changed my life, and that's what he did.
That's such a cool story. Thanks for sharing that.